Good morning. It is the second day
Yes, it is.
of the Feast of Trumpets. It's, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Yes.
So the festival lasts 7 days. So we are continuing with our law reading. Like I said, we're going to be finished with this law by the time atonement comes.
Yes, we are.
Right? And then we get to go and practice judgment. And we're going to read the law and we're going to go back and read the law and go back. And it's a good thing. I love your questions. If you have questions,
Yes.
I know some people got comments, so they just leave comments. I just want y'all to know if you don't see me responding to comments, it's just because, I could tell if you've been in the class for a while and whether or not you've been listening, because I'm not going to repeat this class like this again, right? I'm not going to revise the class. We're going to progress.
Yes.
So this is for this medium, okay? When I start going into lawful judgments, we're just going to continue to progress. And you're going to have to go back and get what you didn't get, or come here and start with a class that's starting fresh again. But I'm not going to go back and read it like this again for this format. You know what I'm saying? I got other stuff to progress to. And if I keep reading just this law and going back for, everybody on milk and cookies, I'm not going to be able to facilitate.
A lot of people with their questioning, to be honest, it's just so that they can debate. It's not that they really want to know. It's rare you have a few who really want
To know.
But the majority are looking for a fight, looking for a battle to try to prove themselves right. It's all to feed their ego and make them feel like they're smart and intelligent. Well, if you were that smart, you would have been got out. You would have been doing the work that is written, not your own ideas and your own thoughts, but the instructions that were given. You haven't done it. So why are you looking for a fight? Why are you looking for a battle?
Well,
Makes sense.
one thing I could tell you, right? You can say whatever you want, okay? But you're going to have to back it up with the Targums. So
Yes.
if you want to contest anything I'm saying to say that it's wrong, you can get the Aramaic Targums. You can buy it from me, or you can buy it from the Vatican. Okay? Go to logos.com, and you can get a copy of the Aramaic Bible. The Aramaic Targum is 22 volumes. So you get Neophiti, you get Targum Jonathan, you'll get also the former prophets. That's everything from Joshua to Malachi. So the former prophets, you get the book of Chronicles, Ruth, Targums. You get all of it. You get everything from Joshua to Malachi. Now, my advice to you is get it from us.
Yeah.
Click on the link, buy it. It's the same thing. You're going to get a PDF. If you buy it from them, you get an app access. It's still a PDF. It's just on an app. Okay? And it's $1,200 to get the PDF app on an app from them. I paid that already. Okay? Now, if you want to buy it from them, buy it from them. If you want to get it from us, you can get it from us. All the proceeds go towards buying the land anyway.
And remember, you're big about let's support us.
Right. So
This is it.
if you're going to be the chosen people, get the book and debate between your books, because I'm not debating your book.
Right.
You have to debate me in my book. So you have to get my book, and you're going to have to read everything to figure out where I got what I'm talking about. And if you think I'm wrong and you think you have another sighting, you can compare it, right? If you say, nah, it says this in Jeremiah, okay, make sure you get my Jeremiah and make sure it says the same thing. Be sure to do that.
Right.
I tell you what happened. The last guy came out
Oh, goodness.
and he was telling me I was doing something unlawful and I was doing something wrong. And I was like, okay, I'm not against being corrected if I'm wrong.
Right.
Okay? First
That's
of all.
true.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and
you
we
do.
can fix it.
Yes.
Okay? Let's sit down and let's show me where I'm coming up short. Because I could have missed something. I says, the only thing I'm gonna ask you to do is use my books. Now, we have a whole actual collection, like the actual books itself, the entirety, the full, all 22 volumes. Okay? The printed books, which are only found in rare bookstores. Each book is between $100 to I think like $150 each. And we collected all of them. So now I passed the dude the book. He's like, see, first of all, it says right here in Amos chapter 4, and he started reading about what I'm doing wrong. And he's teaching and his friend is reading. And I was like, I'm taking the correction. Okay, go ahead. And he said, read. Now this says this, right? I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, now watch, keep reading. Then his face turned up. His countenance fell. What are you doing? I'm still reading the same verse. It didn't finish yet. It what? Yeah, it actually says, and it was saying what I was doing was correct. And what he was doing was wrong.
Right.
And I was like this. I was like, yeah, finish reading. I was like, but this says I'm wrong. I was like, you happen to be pretty bright. It says you wrong. Yet I didn't come to you and approach you and tell you what you was doing was wrong. I didn't come to you and to try to debate you and tell you your understanding was incorrect, because you have the same understanding as 150 million other people of our people. Our people. I'm not even talking about the world.
No,
just our people.
Right.
And I was like, this is why I kept saying what we're doing doesn't work, because the books that y'all are using are deeply flawed. Not that there isn't a preservation.
Right, but they left stuff out. They added little stuff.
Well, when I say not that there isn't a preservation, it's just that know your enemy. The white person doesn't destroy
everything.
Original artifacts.
That's right.
They preserve them. They hold them, they keep them, they display them, they brag about them, but they don't destroy them.
Right.
They keep them. So you have to know your enemy. And in knowing your enemy, you have to say, what is giving them the information to do what they do? Aliens? If it's aliens, how come we all can't talk to them? How come they only meet the government? Why they don't meet somebody else? Right? And why is our book so important? Where's the original? There has to be an original.
Right.
Because know your enemy. They're going to have a preservation. So when I found the Targums, I saw the preservation. Right? When I went to Israel and spoke to the Jewish people about it, they were like, this was the first book that the Vatican gave us. And we said that we couldn't keep it. It forbids us to keep it. We have to keep this other book, the book from Babylon. Because if we go by this book is Arab in nature. It Arabizes the people, and we don't get along with the Arabs. And so they reject it. And then they tell you, if you read one verse in this book, you got to read 10 verses
Right.
of the Babylonian Talmud to cleanse and purify your mind. You have to read 10. For one, you have to read 10.
Well, we got the Dead Sea Scrolls,
You can have
and we got the 1611, King James, he was a black man.
You can have anything you want. If you don't have this, you don't have any details. You don't have any details. 1611 is authorized. This book is unauthorized. It's not authorized. It is only taught in the highest institutions of education for historical accuracy, for accurate translation or understanding of Hebrew practices. This is it. This is the only one. And they can't understand it. They don't know how to do it because it doesn't instruct them to. It's
not for them.
Written to them or for them. So they can't understand it. But it's available.
Yes, it is.
Just nobody want to pay $1,200 for a volume of books. It comes in volumes, like the Quran comes with hadiths, like all the prophets and the books. They come in volumes like that, and it's a beautiful volume set. Nobody want to get it. They don't want volumes of books. They want a Bible about this big. And you can thumb through it real quick and put together what you want.
Yeah, your own interpretation.
You can cook up what you want. This one, that doesn't allow you to cook up.
No, you can't.
It defines itself.
Yeah.
So it is important that you get it. The guy, he got his comeuppance, and he rebuked himself. I didn't say nothing.
Right. Oh, you don't.
I didn't insult him. I was like, I didn't come for you. You didn't agree with what I was doing, and yet you're here coming to me for aid and assistance. You know what I'm saying? You want aid and assistance in the matter because you don't have. Yet I'm the one full of provision, and you're coming to me for my aid and assistance to support you as a brother. I didn't come to you. You said you had a problem with what I was doing. I didn't talk to you. I left you alone. Right? Now you come to me because you need me. You need food. You need this. You need a place to stay. You need this. Every time you come, I give you only what the law says to give you as a brother. And still you don't see that your ways are wrong.
I don't understand, why it's hard for people to admit that they are wrong and know that it's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
No. Listen, they actually know they're wrong. The problem is they don't want what is right to be this law because then they have to change. So they understand. The beautiful part about idolatry is you're forgiven without any recompense or having to give any restitution, without having to pay it back. And in our law, you have to pay back.
There is restitution.
You have to restore.
Yes.
So they don't like that. They feel like it's too high of a price. They're already ashamed. They're already sorry. They feel they shouldn't have to pay. No, you do. Here's another thing, right? Did you know that kings have to have an intimate relationship with their idol, with their God, right? All kings,
Yes.
every last one.
Yes, yes,
So
they do.
when you read and you see that the Most High appointed an angel to the 70 nations,
Yes, yes.
so each nation has its angel,
Yes.
right? So, but to the children of Israel, we are appointed to the direct word from the Most High.
Right.
There is an angel over us.
Right.
His name, I will say it again, is Israfil. 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 Whom, whom Jacob was called after when he was called Israel. Okay? So when he wrestled with Israfil, he got the angel's name. And his name was changed to that, and that angel was assigned to him. However, the terms and the conditions are different. The 70 angels that were allotted, right, were all assigned under the 70 angels of the fallen, right? So there's an angel called Hasidi,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I remember you saying about that.
This one, he creates abortions and does all manner of wickedness in his area. You can read about that in Enoch. Well, if you look at it, all the people behind these human atrocities that you see is the Hasidic people. The Hasidic Jewish, now they call themselves, they added Jewish people. They didn't even get rid of the Hasidic part.
Right.
So you can look, you see, you can look and see Kasdai, Kasdaye in Enoch. Kasdai is Hasidi. K makes the ch sound. Hasidi. Okay? You say Kasdai. If you go and you look, you can, if you want, go get you a Sifa and you'll see Kasdai. That's Hasidi, right? Because they're taking the I, right? And they're exchanging it because it's actually Yod. So they're trying to
Switch up.
spell it out, but it's Hasidi, the Kasdai. The Kasdim is the Hasidim, the Hasidic people. So they are named and called after the fallen angel that was appointed to them.
And Ishmael has Gabriel.
He has Jibril, but Jibril is under
Mike.
Michael, under Israfil. So all of the angels that are appointed to the righteous people are in order. One God, one law, one way. Now you say one law. Yes, it's one law. The permissions granted, there's permissions and restrictions. So the permissions granted to Ishmael, he can eat shrimp. Why can he eat shrimp and we can't? Because he can and we can't.
Right, right. It's what the instructions that were given for us.
The closer you are to the Most High in appointment, right? Your appointment is your relationship. The closer you are, the stricter the rules.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You want to be this close, you have to give this up and make it like this.
Yes.
This is an abomination to you because you are closer in relationship to me. That's how it works. Now, you didn't understand that before today. Well, yes, I did. No, you didn't, because then you would have been out here looking how to get in the rules to get stricter, right? Because even if you were in an Islamic culture, you'd be about 75% there. You would have to come into the restriction a little more, and most people can't take it. And when they go into Islam, they can't take it. They get comfortable there.
Yes, because they still get to do what they want to do.
Right. They can move how they want to move, and they can feel good about themselves within that.
Right.
And you if you Israel, that's not going to be good enough.
Right.
You know, in the long run, it'll get you killed. But you can do what you want. I don't mind. Do what you want. So you have your restrictions, and so each king has to have an intimate relationship with the angel appointed him. Now, our angel only delivers the instruction of the Most High given to us, and we are without idol by command. The 70 fallen angels, right?
Yes.
And they have multiple religions, idols, deities, and usually at the top, you'll find some type of trinity, some type of three combined into one.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes, you do. Yes.
You'll find idol names, and this one responsible for this, and this one responsible for that. Always the same. But that's the truth. Why are you bringing this up today? Well, I just felt like you should know. So now we're going to move forward, Deuteronomy chapter 20, and we're going into the commands of war. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1, we got 14 chapters to cover over the next 7 days.
Oh, yeah.
When you go forth to battle against your enemies and see horses and chariots and peoples proud, overbearing and stronger than you, fear them not. That means this is guaranteed to happen. For all of them are accounted as a single horse and a single chariot before your Allah, whose word will be your helper, for he brought you out free from the land of Mitzrayim. Okay, so first of all, it means it's just one. A million soldiers, this just one soldier. A million tanks, this just one tank. A million planes, this just one. One driver, one. That's how you see it. It's not a million, it's just one. Because the word, the instruction is your helper. Now, when it says the instruction is your helper, holding up the book and its pages will not save you. You have to be doing the instructions on the page that bring about your salvation. So the same way it worked to provide food on the table, telling you what to plant and what to grow, the same way it will prepare you for battle when it comes to war. You will be ahead of the danger and the conflict. We'll be right back. All right, we're back.
You know, I've been noticing something here, not just in this code, but in previous codes. When it speaks of the helper, the supporter. It is always addressed as the word. But in our previous thinking, they call that the Holy Spirit as the helper. And the supporter. No, but it's actually the word.
The instruction.
It's
The
the
instruction is your helper. You need to know what to do and how to do it. When are we to start working on it? This day, today, we start to get and accumulate what we need to do what is necessary to be ready for the trouble that's coming tomorrow. That's what peace Gama means.
Yes.
My word will be a shield unto you. It will protect you because trouble is coming tomorrow. Nothing but bad things are on the horizon. Right. However, with this instruction, we can do the necessary preparations to move safely into the future, to overcome the obstacle before it even has arrived. Not by reading it, but by performing the instructions. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so let's see what the instructions continue to say in verse 2.
Yes.
At the time that you draw nigh to do battle, the priest shall approach and speak with the people. Step 1.
Step 1.
We are getting ready to do battle. The priest talk to the people. Not the king.
Nope.
Not the captains. No.
The priest.
We're getting ready to do battle. The princes got their people lined up, all the men, and the priest go and talk to the people. Okay? And say to them, so now the priest has a direct instruction on what he is to say. This every time we're going into battle.
Yes.
The priest has to say to them, to the people, hear Israel. Oh, you see that?
Yes.
Israel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and this is what the priest has to say. So the priest can't concoct their own words.
You can't concoct.
You got to say this
You
particular
can't
word.
make a motivational from my soul, from my spirit, I feel. Or I saw two birds pass by on a Tuesday. And no,
it has to speak what the word says, because that makes the word the helper to the people.
To the people in this moment. Now, the instructions were given a long time ago.
Yes.
About what to prepare for and how to prepare against it. But now the day of the battle has come, and the priest is talking, and it says, hear Israel, you draw near this day, today, this day, to fight against your adversaries. Right? So you're fighting this our enemy. This is your enemy. They come to fight you. You come to fight them today. It's going down. Let not your heart be moved. Be not afraid. Tremble not, nor be broken down before them. For the Shekinah of Yah, your Allah, goeth before you to fight for you against your enemies and to save you. Wait a minute. You mean salvation, to be saved, right? You know, Christians like to use this word all the time.
Yes.
To be saved is something meaning to survive in the heat of a battle. It's a physical fight.
Yes.
Swords, guns, whatever we got. This is for this. And can the people not see the Shekinah? Obviously not. If the priest have to say that it is going before you. So they cannot see it.
No.
They cannot perceive it. They don't understand what it is. Right? What is the Shekinah, Rabbi Sheikh? What is the Shekinah? Is it something we can see? Sometimes it is revealed. You can see it physically. Other times, the sign of the Shekinah is that you have done everything that the instructions have completed. And when you go to check, everything is present on the day that you need it because you took the diligence to prepare everything.
Yes.
We have everything that the Most High commands. Everybody is in their place, dressed and ready, and they have appeared today to get this ass whooping they was promised. And they go and get it today. As we say in Israel, ayom. This day.
This day I own.
Now that the priest has spoken,
Yes.
listen to the next line. And the officers, now the officers, which ones? The ones leading the army, the captains of 10s and 50s, and we made you officers for a reason. We don't have politicians who don't fight. We have officers, our leaders of our countries, our leaders in battles. So you cannot be afraid. We don't have spiritual warfare. We have warfare. Not spiritual.
Yeah, no spiritual.
I don't have spiritual.
warfare.
We
It's
have
real
warfare. We have war for real,
Yeah.
not spiritual.
Yes, that's spiritual.
No. I have a real war. We have a real problem.
Yeah.
And now I have to make real officers because we have to go into real war. Even though the officers may be singers, the real officers may be officials at home and judges and everything else. But they still,
Right.
like Moses, you have to show up to the battle. Like Joshua, you have to show up to the battle.
You know what I recognize is that all that junk, spiritual warfare, all this stuff, that was all part of a delusion. It was a deception of my own mind. Because I used to be caught up in that stuff. You know, let's keep it real. That was just pure idolatry. You know what I'm saying? It's like, when I see things like this, you know, it really does move me because it humbles me, you know, the humiliation and the experience of the guilt to know that I was a partaker
Yes.
of that. So, yeah, there is guilt there, but also an appreciation that, yeah, y'all still allowed me to not die in that. And because I have MS, it could have took me out at any time. But to allow me to stay on this path that my heart has yearned for so long, to be able to come to this point and get rid of my delusion, get rid of my idol, get rid of the hopes and the beliefs and all that imagination stuff, to now really walk in practicality, to walk in reality, and to be able to now gain an understanding. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, there's a gratefulness, but a shame,
Yeah, I understand.
you know? Yes, it took all of that before, because, I was the type of person, because I was a minister in the church. I was very knowledgeable of the New Testament, and then I started fellowshipping with some Jewish people, and reading the Torah, Genesis to Deuteronomy for 2 years straight, and all this kind of stuff. But when I came to this, I recognized that I had to let go of all of it. All of what I thought I knew, everything that I had read, I had to let go. Even to the point, I was speaking Hebrew words instead of saying spirit, I say ruah. And instead of saying blessing, I say baraka. Thinking I was somebody because I'm doing it. It didn't mean nothing. That's why now I made up my mind when we came in contact.
Mm-hmm.
I am letting go of everything. Everything what I think I know,
Mm-hmm.
what I may know. Cause yeah, I had some half truths, but they were still a lie. It's a half truth. It's still a lie. But it's like I had to make up my mind and start over as a child and put those things away. Like you said, when people come, we go and search through their stuff, whatever idolatry they still practice. Oh, that's left at the door. You can't come in with that. Well, believe me, I understand this because I had to do this for myself. I had to make that decision,
For
that
yourself.
choice for myself. And
Absolutely.
now I am literally seeing this word unfold, and it's not spiritual.
No.
It is practical
Practical. There's no,
and physical.
there's no, every religion requires a belief. Every religion requires a belief. This, what I'm teaching you today, does not require any belief.
No, it doesn't.
It is, you will perform what is asked
Oh, you die.
and receive the benefits, right? You will perform what is asked and receive the benefits, the rewards. Or you will fail to perform and you will suffer and die. Now, to suffer is humiliation, is degradation, it's being abased, it's being low, it's being humbled, it's being at the bottom. And it doesn't matter how much you have, right? Jay-Z is a billionaire and he's the lowest. He's on the bottom. His millionaire counterparts are accounted as having a higher level than him. He has more money, but he is a base. He is at the bottom. Okay? And he cannot turn against the ones who have made him wealthy, lest they remove from him the wealth they have afforded to give to him. So let's take a look. And officers shall speak with the people. Now, the officers, these are judges, captains of 10, of 50, 100, 1,000. They're talking to the men because the women, they're not here. This is the day of battle. We're not going to have, there's not going to be any Shiras, if you know what that is. There's not going to be any Zenas, warrior princesses, if you know what we're talking about. We don't have that.
Right.
Not saying that there cannot be. It's just in our history, it has never been.
Correct.
What you talking about? There was Deborah. She cut the man. Deborah did not cut the man's head off.
No, she didn't.
No. Somebody else did that.
Yes.
She counseled somebody else, and they got the setup and did all that. That's it. You guys are crediting her for making a wise decision, but she didn't do it.
No.
It don't happen. We don't have Samsona. Okay?
Samsona. I like that.
We don't have it.
Samsona.
Okay? So now the princes, the officers, right? So the officials speak with the men, saying, who is the man who hath builded a new house and has not set fast its doorposts to complete it? Let him go and return to his house, lest through sin he be slain in the battle and another man complete it.
Wow.
Or what man has planted a vineyard and has not redeemed it from the priest to make it common? Let him go and return to his house, lest the sin be the occasion of his not redeeming it, but he be slain in battle, and another make it common. And what man has betrothed a wife, but not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest sin prevent him from rejoicing with his wife, and he be slain in the battle, and another take her. Let's review. I wanted to be sure to read this first.
Yes, sir.
So first things first, I'm going to now make this prevalent today because this is set for every war and every battle we are involved in as people.
Yes.
Right now we are scattered among our adversaries. And the day of warfare, world war, as they like to call it, has come. World War I is known as the Battle for Jerusalem. It's when they first started to come in. And in World War II, they were driving the Jewish population to go into Israel to populate it and killing their own people to generate wealth. You didn't know that. Well, this is what they do, okay? So they condense down their population and make it small and take all the gold and the wealthy things from the people, and it makes the upper class very rich and very wealthy.
So that's what the Holocaust
That's
was
what the
all
whole
about?
thing was. That's what the whole thing was about. So when they gathered up all of the wealth, all of the gold, then they turned around and said, oh, this terrible thing has happened to us. Help us, help us, help us. Sound familiar? Sound like Ukraine? Oh, we've done all of this and we want to, oh, look, this terrible thing has happened to us. Help us, help us, help us. Give us money, give us weapons, give us, give us, give us, give us. And then they push their people into this new country of theirs. So the officers first asked, is there a man who has builded a new house and has not finished the door? Go home. Guess what? The war, you now know it's begun. According to our law, as the first officer, even myself, I've begun to build the house and I have not completed. I'm going home.
So we don't fight.
No fight. I'm
Because we
not.
building
No fighting.
a house.
I have to finish building my house. There's a law, Deuteronomy 20 and 5 code. 205, Deuteronomy 205 code. Code 205, code 205. I ain't finished building my house. So I need to go home and finish my house. Because if I don't do this, it's sin.
It is sin.
It's a sin, and I'll be slain in the battle. And another man is going to build my house and take all my land and stuff. You see how this law works?
Yeah, gotta build a house.
I got to build. I don't have a house. I have to finish it.
But everybody want to go fight.
No, you want to fight. No, I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't, listen. What you're going to do, you go. Me, the law says I have to finish building my house. Me, I'm not, listen, stop worrying about them. I'm not worried about you. Me, I have to finish my house, lest sin and I die, and another man complete my house and enjoy it. I have a right. I keep my right. I'm going to build my house. Step one, this for me, and I'm an officer. Because the Most High has made my enemies rise up and fight against themselves. While they're doing that, oh, no, my God said to go home and build my house. It's not finished. Yalla, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Or have planted a vineyard. Oh, you know my house?
Yeah.
It have a brand new vineyard on it. I buy it. I buy the farm. And I have not redeemed it to the priest either. So now on this account, I have to finish the house.
And the vineyard.
And I have to redeem my vineyard to the priest. I cannot fight in this battle right now. Because if I don't give the first fruit to the priest to make my farm common, another man will come and he will give and he will make the fruit common and take my land. I cannot lose my land. How will I have survival in this war when it's over? So on two accounts,
yes,
I cannot fight in this war. So I have to redeem it because I will be slain in the battle if I go, because I have my house and my land on my mind. On my mind, I will be distracted. I cannot.
Yes. Won't be able to.
Two strikes.
No. Won't be able to fight well.
And what man has betrothed the wife, but not taken her, let him go and return to his house, lest sin prevent him from rejoicing with his wife. And he be slain in the battle, and another take her. Well, okay, I have a virgin wife, but I still have to finish the house. So I cannot go. I don't claim this one for myself. But what happened if maybe I go home and there's a virgin and she's interested? Love is love. I don't know.
So I said, why is he saying just a virgin? What?
Because this for virgins. It's only on account of the virgin. I'm not worried about it. One step. The virgin, I don't know. Maybe a virgin come and I have to take her. Love is love. I cannot deny her her right. It's the right of the woman.
It's very hard for a lot of the hoes and adulteresses to accept the fact that they don't get the same privilege as a virgin.
So hold on. Let's see who goes to war and dies and for what reason.
Oh.
Okay? This law works forward and backwards. So the world's going to World War III, and I know the Hebrew Israelites want to go fight. So the person who is not completing their house, they're not building their house. They go to war and they're going to die. So why? Well, I have to rebuild the house of David. I don't know about whatever other house somebody else building.
But you gotta build.
I got to build this house. You do what you want.
Right.
We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so the man that doesn't come to build his house. So according to the law commands us to get up, get all our money together. You know what I'm saying? Sell your stuff, borrow, whatever. Come out and join in and rebuilding the sanctuary. Buying back land, right? We're buying it as a group.
Yes.
To reestablish ourselves as a people. So we're not trying to leave folk behind.
No, not at all.
We're actually preparing for folk to come when the day of the storm hits, when the war happens in your neighborhood, in your community, in your towns, right? Because right now you're not fighting against some little country locally. This is intercontinental.
Right.
These people can touch you from where they are. They don't have to leave home. So they can blow up this country and they can blow up that country and they never left the living room. Well, guess what? This is not my war. My law told me, get up, build back my house. So the righteous brother is going to get up, give his money. See you later. I'm going to go build my house. It's what the law says to do. The unrighteous brothers, they're going to go and fight in the war, knowing they didn't build back their house. So they'll be killed on this account. Right? What man has planted a vineyard and have not redeemed it? Since we're buying farms and it's already planted, right? And the Most High has given it to you. So the brother that doesn't buy the farm doesn't give. So I said, come bring your money. We're buying land. We're buying farmland, right? It's already planted. It's already growing. So if I don't buy the farm and I go to war and I don't redeem the farm because I'm at the fight, you're going to die on account of this. The Most High will kill you. Whoa. You're not supposed to be out there. You're supposed to be over here farming. You see what I mean? Let me grab a little bit of water. It's getting a little hot in here, huh?
So to redeem it from the priest, is that when the 4 years and you bring the first fruits?
It would be that case, but since in the first year it's already here,
okay.
If you didn't farm it, right, you didn't plant it. You got here, you bought a farm. So you're buying back your land. It's your first year back in your land, and there's already trees on it. The first year, you have to give everything to the priesthood. Why do we give everything to the priesthood in the first year? Because we are eating as a nation, as a people. Okay? Everybody's eating from the same wholeness. And you may have a farm, and your farm may have limited you may have limited variety.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what you need as a community is you can trade, buying and selling from what you have to bring in the extra variety to supplement yourself. So you may not have rice, you may not have wheat yet, but if we got 30 farms, each of them 12 acres, right? So that's already like 30 farms, 12 acres. So that's 360 acres of olives and grapes. And well, you need to just go on and harvest all of that up, give it all to the Levites, to the priest. Why? The priest and the king work together. So we got this and we got food. We're going to bless it, hold it up before the Most High, but we're going to conduct business with it from the overflow.
Yes.
Because we have to bring in rice, we have to bring in the beans, and we're going to plant those. So we're going to get more land, we're going to plant these, but we're doing business to expand the sanctuary because more people are coming. So again, you have to redeem your land to the priests.
Peace.
Okay? So we're going to move forward. Now, we not done. And a man who hath betrothed the wife, but not taken her, let him go and return to his house, lest sin prevent him from rejoicing with his wife, that he be slain in the battle, and another take her. You know, most of you don't have a wife yet.
Yeah.
Because you never got a woman in her virginity to even have a wife. You are 30, 40 years old and have never been with a virgin and taken her to marriage. You have never had a wife. You've had redeemer cases.
Right.
And maybe you don't want a wife. So you're going out here to war now, right? And you're basically a whoremonger. You sleep with hoes, you like sleeping with hoes, you got a hoe at home, and this is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to die on this account. This is the third account, right? Because all the daughters of Israel supposed to have husbands. All of them. They're entitled to the men of Israel as husbands. Yeah.
You know, you struck a nerve there for somebody.
I don't care about your nerve. If I hit it, I hit it again. Let me go read another verse. So that's the third one.
Yes.
So now we covered the first three. Verse 8. Yet more shall the officer speak to the people. Okay?
Yes.
Listen carefully to this next verse. And say, who is the man who is afraid on account of his sin and whose heart is broken? Let him go and return to his house, that his brethren be not implicated in his sin and their heart be broken like this.
Wow.
Me. Rabbi Sheikh, what's your sin? Okay, so first, I was born and my mom only teach me idolatry, right? And I born in captivity. I was born in America, the house of the bondage of slaves. I was born there. And they don't teach me the laws and the customs and the traditions. So I cannot fight this battle on righteous grounds because we lost everything. So I have to redeem everything. And I cannot go to this battle on account of sin. I don't know, my hands are not being strong, made for war yet. We don't have the vineyards. I haven't redeemed this. You know, I haven't yet taken the proper wives. I only have one. I don't get I don't get two. I only have one. And this, this not our custom. It's not our way. So I have to finish. I have to get the second virgin wife to be a sister to my first one. I promised my wife this. So I have to wait till I get it. I have to build my father's house in the land because it's desolate. And I have to build the farm because we don't redeem it. So on account of all of this sin, I'm afraid to go to this battle because the Shekinah not go to this battle with me. And if I go, then this curse go with me on my brothers and they die. We all died together. So for me, I go home, I build my house. Where do you build your house? Oh, well, okay, my father have different land. I start in the land in Gilad. This in the northern part of Jordan. I start there. I have a lot of work. It take me long time. Yeah.
Very long time.
Yeah, 40 years or something.
Yes.
And then, in this time, I taken myself to get ready for war. Even I have a son, I make him ready. So if we have to go to the battle after, we're very strong.
Yes.
But not now. We have nothing. I have this sin. I have to atone for. Look, today I don't even have the sacrifice for the second day of the Feast of Trumpets. Listen, I have to atone for all of this. I have to give many sacrifices. I'm too weak to make this battle for World War III. I skipped this one. Verse 9, and when the officers shall have finished to speak with the people, they shall appoint the captains of the host at the head of the people. Okay. So whoever left, I'm leaving. And the captains, right? But these not my captains. These some other body's captains. I don't know what the hell they doing. I'm out. I'm on the way home to build my house. You can do what you want. This is not my battle. I have too much to build.
Yes.
And I'm of the house of David and all of Israel, right? The people, the congregation, everything is under me, and they need to be helping me build this house and the sanctuary. But if you go to this battle, you on your own. The Shekinah goes not up with you on account of the sin of my brethren, because I know the state that they in. So if they tell you anything other than what I'm telling you, they are deceiving you to your death. Go ahead, get what you want out of it. When you come nigh to a city to make war against it, then you shall send to it certain people to invite peace. If they answer you with words of peace and open their gates to you, all the people you find therein shall be tributaries to work for you. Okay?
Right.
But if they will not make peace, but war with you, then you shall beleaguer it. To beleaguer is to what?
Lay siege to.
To lay siege to put in a difficult situation. Okay?
Lay siege.
We'll lay siege. We'll put it under sanctions. You can't even put it under sanctions. So this is a sign. If you don't know how to lay siege, you cut off trade supplies coming in and out. You cut off food coming in and out.
But first, the first thing you must do is seek the peace first.
Right.
Before you do anything.
Anything. So guess what? You didn't send nobody to seek peace. This war, hold on, this whole World War III, I didn't choose nobody from me. I'm the head. I didn't choose nobody to make peace for these people. I didn't make that. And the second thing, we have no way of beleaguering or laying sanctions on anybody. We don't have nothing ourselves. I definitely shouldn't be in this war. And when your Yah, your Allah, will have delivered it into your hands, then may you smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women, children, and cattle, and whatever is in the city, even all the spoil, you shall seize, and eat the spoil of your enemies, which Yah, your Allah, giveth you. Well, where y'all gonna put cows?
The thing is,
Where you gonna put, you're talking about going to war and getting the spoil. Where are you going to put it?
nobody's considering
Because
thinking about that.
the countries you're scattered in are about to be destroyed. So where are you going with it? I want to know.
They haven't thought that far.
You have no house to bring it to. So where are you going to bring it? They drop it. Listen, you go to war. While you fighting, you come back with women, children, and cattle and all this stuff, and you say, we won. 10,000 fell at the right, 100,000 on the left. It was just me. I came back with everything. Where you bringing it back to?
You didn't prepare.
Brooklyn?
You didn't prepare anything.
You're bringing it back to Brooklyn.
How?
How? Brooklyn is leveled, it's glowing in the dark, and here you come with 3 trucks, you and 2 other brothers, and you go back to Brooklyn and ain't nothing to eat here. Oh, you gonna have a hard time, player. You know what I'm saying? You ain't think this through. Where you going? All right.
15.
Thus shall you do to all cities that are remote from you, which are not of these 70 nations. So the 70 nations is in-house, right?
Yes.
Now, 70 nations in-house. There's only 36 tribes within the house of Abraham, right? There's only 36. So you got Isaac, Ishmael, and Esau. But there's some from Japhet and there's some from Ham as well. So you have 70 nations that the Most High says this will be here. Does not include Nephilims. Okay? But of these cities of peoples which Yah your Allah giveth you to inherit, you shall not spare alive any breathing thing. So now this is remote. This is outside of our land. The 70 nations live outside our land. So within our land, within, and not of the 70 nations. So not of Ishmael, not of Esau. This is a totally different thing. Right? You shall not spare alive any breathing thing. For destroying you shall destroy them. The Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Pharisees. I know they mad about that one, but it's right there. The Pharisees, right? The Hivites, the Jebusites, as Yah, your Allah, has commanded you, that they may not teach you to do after their abominations, which with which they have served their idols, and you sin before Yah, your Allah. So remember what I told you? Every nation is attached from the top down to its idol. to its angel and how it teaches them. So these people, if they should ever rise up, you have to utterly drive them out. This not talking about Ishmaelites. These people are not in the family at all.
Or Saudi.
They're not Saudi either.
Because they're not, no. We all serve the same Allah.
Right. So you have to deal, this is the thing, you have to deal with each specific thing exactly according to what it is. There's no generalizations. There's no generalizations. You can't generalize it. You can't make everything common. Everything have a specific action. If you apply the wrong instruction
Yep.
to the wrong action,
Yep.
you're going to be 100% wrong. You're not going to obtain the success.
Right.
19, when you beleaguer a city, all the 7 days to war against it, to subdue it on the Sabbath, you shall not destroy the trees thereof by bringing against them an instrument of iron, that you may eat of its fruit, nor cut it down. For a tree on the face of the field is not as a man to be put out of sight before you in the siege. So the Most High is so meticulous here to tell you, like, hey, when you go to war, first of all, you're not going to destroy anything else except for the people I told you to destroy and the animals I told you to destroy.
Right.
What you over here touching the trees for?
Right. Set stuff on fire.
You getting ready to come back, because if you warring against these people, you're only warring against them because they are on your land.
Right.
Why are you cutting down the trees and burning them, and you gotta live here and eat?
Right. That'd be dumb. Stupid. Foolish.
See? You're starting to see.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back. All right. So, don't touch the trees. Right? So if it's a fruit-bearing tree, don't cut it down. But the tree that you know to be a tree not making fruit to eat, that you may destroy and cut down, and you shall raise bulwarks. You know what a bulwark is?
No, sir.
It's a wall, the siege wall. Okay? And make a bulwark against the city that maketh war with you until you have subdued it. Nothing in, nothing out. It's a siege. If a male be found slain upon the ground, this verse 21. Okay? This verse, chapter 21. Now, chapter 21 has a whole different law. So we'll get into that. But that is the war scroll. It's how you go to war. Why you go to war. You go to war over your land, not over somebody else's. Nope. Mind your business. It talks about in your land, for your land, and in your land. So now why you not coming over here? You have to come and redeem your land. He talked about that. So you got to buy vineyards. So like I said, the instruction for them at that time was the same as it is now. They're supposed to go in, buy land. They decided not to buy land, ended up walking around for 40 years. And then the Mosai's like, well, you guys are strong now, and they don't want to sell you the land because you made war with them. So they're not even trying to hear you. So now you have to make war. Right? Remember the fallout between Joshua and the spies and then they left to go make war, and now they have to walk around, and then they have to go back, and now they have to make war to get the land back because they started with war. We're not doing that this time. We're going to redeem it, we're going to buy it, and we're going to build on it peacefully, following the instructions to the letter, skipping the mistakes. So if you're listening, then you understand the details of the instructions of the war scroll. So we are not to be involved in this at all. It's time for us to buy back our lost properties. Forget it in the nation of Israel. Don't do it there. We're here. We have to be together. We're in Jordan, the dwelling places of Ammon. You're going to come and we're going to dwell here. Let them do what they're going to do. When we go into the land, there won't even be a border. We're going to walk smooth across. The fence will come down. We're going to walk smooth across. All right? This is what's coming. Let it happen. Yes. Let what's going to fall. All right? Enjoy your day. Whew. 14 more chapters to go, and then we get to start judging. That's what I'm waiting for because, this stuff is this. That's the beginning. When I actually start teaching you the processes of the judgments, you're going to need a pen and a paper because then you start to see, because it starts to actually correct your thinking.
Yes.
Right now, just like learning your ABCs. Mm-hmm. It's deeper than that, but I can't go there with you. So we just going to do this.
Foundations.
One step at a time, one day at a time.